This is AP 201, Lesson 2, and in this lesson we're going to be learning about elevenths and minor elevenths. These chords can be a little tough if you don't have really big hands, but I'm going to show you a shortcut to actually playing these chords even if you don't have that huge reach that some piano players are gifted with. Basically, the way you make an 11th, just a plain 11, it is so simple. So simple. I'm going to show you the formal way, and then after that I'm going to show you the shortcut way. And you're going to be amazed at how incredibly difficult the formal way is and how incredibly easy the shortcut way is. So basically, your 11th is made up of your 5, your flatted 7th, and your 9, and your 11. Okay? So what you do, you have a major chord, you add your 7th, you add your 9th, then drop the 3rd, add your 11th. Now your 11th is basically the same as your 4, but it's 11 notes up from your root. So you have C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so F is your 11, same as your 4, but the difference is you have to have the integral parts of this are your flatted 7th, your 9th, and then your 11th. You have to have those 3 components in order to make it. You can leave out the 5th if you don't want it, or you can keep it in. I generally tend to leave it out myself personally. Okay, so that's the formal way. You add, you go up, you count up, and all that stuff. Now the shortcut way, basically what you do, if you notice, once you get to the end, you kick out that G or that 5th, and you have basically a B flat over a C. So basically a C11 is a B flat in your right hand and a C in your left hand. That's basically the shortcut. You basically just go down a whole step, 2 notes, from the name of the chord. So if we're trying to play a C11, go down 2 notes to B flat, and play that major chord in your right hand and play the root note in your left hand. So C11 is basically B flat over C. That's the shortcut way. Incredibly easy if you think about it. Same thing for G. You know, you can do it the formal way, or you can just do it what I do and do the shortcut way. Okay, so F over G. But now you understand why it's called an 11th. Okay, so you have your 7th, you have your 9th, and you have your 11th. Okay, so G11 is G in your left hand, F, A, C in your right hand. Pretty easy, right? Alright, so let's go through and play exercise song number 1 for you. Okay, that's it, your G11. And of course, it's an F major chord, so if you want to make it sound even prettier, why not just make it an F2? Or why not just make your C11 B flat over C, just make that a B flat 2. See how pretty that sounds? Okay, I do that a lot when I'm playing. Alright, now, the minor 11, its counterpart is not nearly as simple as the regular 11th is, but it can be done easily also. So the first one we're going to learn is B minor 11. Okay. Now basically what you're going to do, it's the same chord, same function. You do the same, make it the same way, but basically you're not going to start with the major chord. You're going to start with the minor chord. Okay. So B minor 7, B minor 9. Okay, you following me? B minor, B, D, F sharp, B minor 7, B, D, F sharp, A, okay, B minor 9, D, F sharp, A, C sharp, B minor 11, okay, but we have to make it a minor, so we have to keep that flatted 3rd in there. So the actual way you want to play a B minor 11 is like this. You keep your 3rd down here, you play your 7th right here, your 9 right here, and your 11th right here. That is quite a stretch. It's a big chord, isn't it? Okay, but that's how you play it. Now, a shortcut way you can do it, it doesn't sound as good, but you can do this. You can put your 3rd in the middle. Okay? So basically you have an A over B, which is B11, and then to make it a minor, just add your 3rd, your flatted 3rd right there in the middle. Okay, same chord. Doesn't sound quite quite as fancy, but it will work if your hand's not big enough. A third option you have is you can play it like this. Okay, so you can play B minor with your left hand as a chord, B, D, F sharp, and then play A as a major chord in your right hand, A, C sharp, E. Okay, so now you've got three different ways to play the minor 11 chord. So you have the first way, the really stretched out way, okay, and then you've got the kind of the clumpy way where your hands are just all kind of smushed together, and then you've got the two-handed chord, which is like this, where you're playing a B minor in the left hand and the A major chord in the right hand to make it the whole B minor 11. And you could play it a little lower, but you just have to be careful because it might sound a little bit too low, it might sound a little growly there once again. So that's how you play that. Let's go ahead and play the exercise song for you. Exercise song 2 in the key of C. Okay, so exercise song 2 is B minor 11 in the key of C. Our next minor 11 that we want to focus on is the D minor 11, which is our 2 chord. Basically, minor 11s can be substituted for almost any minor ninth in a song. So D minor 11th is going to be, have your flatted third, okay, and then just add your 7th, your 9th, and your 11th, which is your 4 chord, 4 notes up from your 1, just G, okay, basically a C major chord with an F at the bottom. Okay, that's D minor 11, or if you're playing it this way, C, E, F, G with your fingers all smushed together, or if you're playing it this way, with a D minor in the left hand and the major chord in the right hand, that's a whole step down from your 1. Okay, so D, F, A, C, E, G, a lot of notes. Alright, so let's go ahead and play exercise song 3 in the key of C. Okay, exercise song 4 in the key of C, we're going to be using an E minor 11. We're going to be using on our 3 chord. Okay, now this is the same thing. Add your flatted third, and then the chord that's a whole step down from your root note, which is D. Okay, play that as a major chord. Okay, so you have G, D, F sharp, A. Your 7th, your 9th, and your 11th. Okay, or you can play it like this. D, F sharp, G, A, or you can play it like this. E, G, B, D, F sharp, A. Okay, so exercise song 4. Okay, so a lot of really full sounding chords there. Okay, so exercise song 5 in the key of C. So we're going to have one more new chord here, which is A minor 11. So basically G over A, then add your flatted third, alright, which is C. Okay, and so exercise song 5 will be like this. Okay, so a lot of really sweet sounding chords there. There are so many different ways you can play a lot of these songs as far as substituting the stuff. Basically, the rule is basically any minor chord you have minor seventh, minor ninth. You know, you can keep upgrading it, so to speak, or you can add an 11th in there to make it really sound good. Okay, there's a lot of stuff you can do with these 11ths. We won't get into all of that today, but there's a lot of cool things you can do with these chords. The E7 sharp 9 we did, basically an E7, sharp 5, sharp 9, G sharp, C, D with a G. Can you add some rhythm to that? Okay, a lot of stuff you can do with those. So whichever way is comfortable for you, you know, if you're playing it like this. Whatever you're doing is fine. Just make sure you do what's comfortable for you. Don't try to stretch your hands to the place where they hurt really badly. Don't try to do something that God didn't create your hands to do. Okay, great. We'll be back here in just a little bit to show you some new songs. But go through, practice these. I know these are some really intense chords. They'll take some practicing to get used to. So go through and practice those chords, get them down, and we'll see you back here for some new songs here shortly. Okay, great. So welcome back. So let's get into some songs using these 11ths and minor 11ths. Now I'm basically just going to play these very basically for you, just plainly, so you can see how they're played. I really recommend going through and practicing these with the audio tracks. Once you get them down really well, that'll give you the real in-church feel. But in the next lesson, we're actually going to take these songs, we're going to add some fills, some runs, we're going to teach you some really cool new stuff, kind of take a little break just to give you some new fills and runs in your system. But for now, we're just going to go through, we're just going to play these songs very quickly. Not we're going to spend a whole lot of time dissecting them yet. We're just going to go ahead and play them as they're written. Okay, so let's go. Amazing Grace is the first one. Okay, so that's Amazing Grace. Let's go ahead and run over Anointing. Okay, once again, this next lesson, we're going to be going over some really cool fills and runs that we can use in these songs. So you don't want to miss out on that. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and go over He's an On-Time God in the key of C. So you don't want to miss out on, definitely, on the cool fills and runs that we're going to be learning in these songs. There's going to be a lot of good stuff in there. So good deal. So there's going to be some really good stuff in there. Just had to get that out of my system. I felt like jamming there for a minute. It wasn't really to show you the stuff we're going to be learning necessarily. But we'll be back here shortly lesson 3, just to show you these fills, these runs. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff in there that'll hopefully be a blessing to you, and we'll see you back here shortly.